This week on Building in the Open.
What's up, everybody? Super excited. This is my first Building in the Open video where I'm going to take you along for the journey of what it's like to build an agency from essentially scratch to $1 million in profit. I've been at it for about a year now, and I'm really excited to share the rest of the journey with you. These videos are going to drop every single Monday. They're going to be under 5 minutes. And I'm going to show you totally behind the scenes what a day in the life of a CEO is like. What am I thinking about? What decisions am I making? And I'm also going to expose all of our numbers. So really excited. I'm actually going to look over at my screen for most of these videos and just talk you through what we're looking at here. Okay, so let's talk about goals. Goals are obviously the most important thing. We need to reverse engineer where we want to go. So to clue you into a high-level path to $100,000 a month in profit, which is our Q4 goal. So Q2, this quarter, I would like to end the quarter at $55K a month in profit. Right now we're at $19K. So we have our work cut out for us, but I think we can do it. Then Q3, $85K a month in profit, and Q4, $100K a month in profit. To just give you a sense for the metrics today, where they stand at a top of funnel perspective. And again, I hate talking about top line revenue. I think it's a vanity metric. I think too many people focus on it because the number's always bigger. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you have a big top line if it doesn't shake down to bottom line, because we're not doing this as a charity. So we are at 78K in MRR. These are accounts that are driving retainer revenue. And we have managed to push our ASP, our average selling price, up to $4,600 per account. When I first started this, I was charging $1,000 a month was our average. So this has been a long fought battle to increase the value that we're offering and thereby be able to increase the price that we're charging. I'm also very proud of our net revenue retention. This has been something that we've been actively workshopping. You can see here how it wasn't always in the 90s or 100%. We certainly have had to figure out new processes and client management skills and just things that you can't really solve for until you run into problems in the first place. So hard fought battle to get to 100%, and obviously time will tell, but my internal goal for the team is to keep us at 100% net revenue retention. And what that means in a nutshell is it's tracking our churn as well as our expansions. And so if we do churn accounts, when we churn accounts, I want our expansion motion to counterbalance any churned accounts. And that would represent, if it's perfectly balanced, 100% net revenue retention. Okay, so that's really high level, but let's dig into the meat. I'm going to show you all the behind the scenes quarterly, monthly, and weekly goals that I'm thinking about right now. Okay, so what we're looking at here, these are my quarterly rocks for the company. You can think of a rock as an OKR. You could think of a rock as the most important initiatives that we're focused on, if you're not familiar with using the term rocks. So high-level rocks, 24 retainer clients and 2 active web and brand throughout the quarter, hitting 24 retainer by the end of the quarter, 100% NRR, we already talked about that, 25% close rate. This is 9.8% right now, which is abysmal. I believe we should be in the 30-somethings, but our Q2 goal is to workshop that up to 25%. 30 meetings booked per month. Part of sales succeeding and is having enough pipeline. And so that is our meetings booked goal. We have a ton of miscellaneous Q2 initiatives that are on the team. And so each of the team members has their own list of rocks that rolls to this. So it's kind of like a catch-all. And then 19 ready to hire designers vetted by June 1st. At the end of the day, the quality of our design team is everything, right? Like that is our product. And so we are essentially a recruiting company. That's how I think of it, is like our ability to succeed at recruiting the best designers is our ability to succeed in the market. So that's why it might sound like a big number, but that's the number there. And just as far as like behind the scenes stuff, when you're setting rocks, they should always be measurable and time bound, like a SMART goal. And if they're not measurable and time bound, then they don't belong there. If I were to kind of self-critique, I would say rock number 5, Q2 initiatives complete. It's a pretty weak rock because it's not very specific. So if I was being harsh, I would force myself to turn that into something more specific, more measurable, and attach it to a metric. All right, so the next thing we're going to look at is boiling these down from quarterly into a monthly view. So here we go. Same thing. So I make 5 commitments to myself and to the company every month. And so we're looking at April here. Turn SaaS Open event is a conference I spoke at. I want to turn that into 2 finalizing closure ops, meaning 2 deals that are ready to close. What else? Make the LinkedIn Zeitgeist list, create the program, begin onboarding. So this is an initiative where there are a number of people I want to stay in touch with on LinkedIn, and I want to support their content and support their growth as they build their audiences. And so building this list and nurturing it through LinkedIn is a big priority for me. Podcasts. I've recorded 130 podcast episodes, I think, at this point in my podcast. What was it called? It's been a year or two. The Demand Efficiency Podcast, or Best in SaaS. Before that was a top 5% podcast out there in its category. So I've hosted a lot of podcasts, and I'm trying to make an effort now to be a guest on a lot of podcasts. So that's this goal: outbound 6 new podcasts and book 2 minimum this month. Activate Felipe on Mattermade pipeline campaigns. I won't go into that too much because it's Mattermade related, and this whole series is going to be all about NBD. But it's essentially related to building our outbound pipe for Mattermade through prospecting motions. And then the last monthly commitment is to kick off the first full day of YouTube and LinkedIn video content, which here we are. Okay, and then all of that boils down to, what am I actually doing this week? So if I slide this over and we look here, I set an intention every week. So my intention this week is cadence. We're onboarding a new seller, setting up the new video stack, new video filming setup, which is done. Publish 1 video per day on social, write outbound scripts for the podcasts, and the stretch goal is to get Felipe spun up on the Mattermade campaign stuff. So every single week, you're going to see me come back to the sheet. We're going to have a little accountability session where last week, I knocked it out of the park. I got all of my goals and my stretch goal done. There are plenty of weeks where I'll miss on 3 of them and only get 2 done. So this is a really good way to make sure that you are focused, or that I'm focused. That I'm focused on the things that are actually going to move the needle for my monthly goals. And I know that those monthly goals are going to move the needle for my quarterly rocks, and my quarterly rocks are going to move the needle for the company. So this is how I think, this is how I stay organized, and this is how I ultimately manage my teams through this methodology. So that is the first Building in the Open video. Next week, I will show you all of our updated metrics, and I will show you what I have in the pipeline, all the exciting stuff that we're building, any of the challenges that we've run into, because we always run into challenges as part of the building process. So I'm excited to take y'all along for the ride, and I hope you join me.